Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pink Power Live. My name is Nikki Westerfield. I'm a Ruby ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and we are so excited to share with you guys some really exciting stuff. We have 1 month left for Leaders Retreat, so I hope everybody's working hard to get those credits. It's July 1st. It's the beginning of a new month. Set your goals and work towards them.
Yes, for sure. Time to crush them and buckle down this last month. I am Kara Flippin, Senior Ruby Ambassador of Plexus Worldwide, and tonight we have a super special guest and a very close friend to both Nikki and me. She's also a Senior Ruby Ambassador, Leisha Kit. She has 7 children, and if you see her hashtag all the time, it's always Plexus Mommy of Many, and I love that. And I know that definitely describes her. She's more than a mom, but that's just a big part of her life. And I remember whenever I had my second daughter, Lexi, like I was so overwhelmed because I was, a mom again. I was chasing around a toddler. I had my baby. I'm trying to run my Plexus business. And, like, I remember calling my mom one day going, how in the heck does Leisha do this? She has 7 kids. She's successful in Plexus. Like, how does she make this happen? So she is going to share some of her secrets with us tonight on how she is able to, run her family so efficiently, homeschool her kids, and also be so successful in this business. So I'm excited for you guys to hear her. I've personally already learned so much from her through my Plexus journey. So you should take it away, share your story and your secrets with us.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I don't feel, it's one of those humbling things where I guess I just don't really feel like I should be on here sharing because I have still craziness every day in my life, and every day, I don't know, just craziness, just the normal craziness that we all have, but I guess I feel like, there's diamonds who have more kids than me and who are more successful, and one thing that I know, that I just definitely want to everybody to know is I have been at this for almost 3 years, and can you guys still hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it looked like you were frozen, so I'm like, am I frozen too? So I guess my thing that I'm saying is, I've almost been at this for 3 years, and I'm still a senior Ruby, and it's with a humbleness that I know that that's just the road that I'm trying to get through because of what God has allowed for me to learn. Just a little bit to back up for just a second, because you guys kind of said, what's your story? I wanted nothing to do with the business when I first got started. So I don't know if that's anybody else's story. Like, they never even saw this coming, and they never even thought that this was going to be anything that they wanted, in their life. And looking back on it now, how would I want anything different? It's so amazing to see the relationships and to hear the relationships and feel the relationships through the customers as well as through the ambassadors. And so my sister came to me, and my husband was the one who was kind of like pushing and nodding and saying, you should do this. And I was thinking in my head, husband, do you not know, like, hello, I homeschool, I have 6 kids, I'm already crazy busy, how's that going to work into this? And my sister was super nice and saying, there's this thing called social media, and you're not on it, but if you got on it, like, you would realize you could do a lot from your phone, from your computer. I didn't have a smartphone. I didn't have any of that stuff. I was not on Facebook. I wasn't on any of that when I first got started. So I kind of joke around about that a little bit because I always said, I'm so crazy busy, I don't have time to look at what people are doing on Facebook and any of that stuff. I don't have time. But here's the big thing, and I just videoed about this today, was I had stopped dreaming. Like, we all have those dreams that we say we want to do and what we want to shoot for, and I knew that God always wanted me to have a big family and to homeschool and to be with them every day. But it was one of those dreams and nudges and desires that He always, placed on my heart, is that there's dreams and desires that you can help coach people with. And I always thought, yeah, I don't even know what that means. You know, how are we supposed to coach people and being a better person and being a better version of themselves? And Plexus does it. You know, Plexus came to us with not that as part of like the job description, you know, when it's not necessarily a job, it's an entrepreneurship. It's a desire and a goal to grab things and to run with it and to support one another. But this really has allowed me to know and understand that dream and desires and goals that I had before Plexus, this is just the avenue and pathway to make it happen and to get there. And so I immediately started sharing on Facebook through the coaching of Mr. Husband. That's my my nickname for him, is because one of the girls that I used to babysit for, she didn't know his name. She couldn't remember his name, so she just always called him Mr. Husband. So I always call him Mr. Husband, like as my pet name for him. So whenever I went to Mr. Husband, he was the one who was coaching me and supporting me, saying, you know, you can do this just as much as anybody else can, and we need that extra income coming in. You know, it's meaningful to be able to support in a way that is not, you know, me going out and getting a job per se. I can do this from the comfort of my home and share my love for the Plexus products from the comfort of my home. So it's been amazing.
It's so crazy because I know most wives kind of have a different experience. Instead of their husband saying, come on, you can do this, like, we can do this, they're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you spending money on this?
And we had been, you know, in direct sales with another company before, and so that is probably one of my biggest things for anybody out there motivational-wise, is to make sure that your spouse is on board. And if they are not on board, is to do something to get them on board. So, for example, most of it is because they don't have the knowledge that you have. They don't have the experiences that you have. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They don't have any of that. So getting them on board through other spouses that are on board, you know, man-to-man talks, man-to-man understandings of what is this crazy thing that they're doing, because just like right now, he is in the living room with my kids, helping maintain the sanity of our house, of our home. He was coaching everybody to clean up. He helped do supper. He did supper. I can't say I didn't do supper. You know, and so because I was on a call with an ambassador before supper was going on. If he was not there, I mean, it's not like I'm a single mom. So that Plexus Mommy of Many, you know, hashtag should also say, you know, due to also Mr. Husband. The one that right. Because that's the big thing. You know, we are in this together. We're locking arms to get this done. We're locking arms to make sure that this happens. And so many of us can probably say the same things about our spouses, is that they're the ones who are cheering us on from the sidelines and helping us and stuff. And honestly, the big thing is letting them, again, know and understand our dreams and our goals and desires. If we're all on the same page, then it's going to be so much easier.
I feel like it's one of the ways that I know there are some people that do struggle with their spouse and stuff, but like getting their spouse on board, kind of the same way that we reach out to, you know, potentials and stuff, and kind of like she said, getting those other relationships, kind of the validating, like, hi, I'm not crazy, like, and doing the same thing with your potentials, just that we always stress about that third-party validation thing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So what are some things that like you guys do every day to run this ship?
Yeah, so I mean, the big thing that I really want to promote is master the mundane. Ryan and I really, he reminded me of this just last week, because I, of course, am not always just, I mean, I think somebody asked me one time, you make it look really calm and easy. And I said, oh my gosh, there's many times where I'm the duck, you know, floating on water, and maybe it looks graceful from the top part. The bottom half is me, you know, kicking my legs, thinking what's the next thing that's going to take place. Okay, this person needs to do this, and this person needs to do that, and I've got to get this done. Master the mundane is our probably motto, our, you know, vision for not only our what we do every day, but for our jobs, for our our career working at home, we get up every day and we lead a team call and prayer, 6:30 in the morning. So that's kind of our alarm and motivation to wake up and to get things done. I also then look at my affirmations and do my affirmations for the day, which is very mundane again. I look at my goals and I look at what I'm trying to accomplish for the month for my goals. I post on Facebook, get my post out there for the day in the morning, and then start the mundane process of who do I need to follow up with? Who am I going to reach out today and say, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? Have you ever thought about Plexus? You would be really great at it. I've been watching you on Facebook, and you have an amazing network of people. You were talking about needing more energy, and you would do great at promoting this. So reaching out to somebody new every day, following up with somebody new every day, and talking to a new ambassador every day. And that's like it. Master the mundane. And then on the personal development side, I watch a new video every day that's going to keep me motivated and keep me in connection with what we need to do in our business. There are a wealth of videos out there in the Plexus world of YouTube. And so a lot of things that I do around the house, like folding laundry, doing laundry, cleaning up after my kids, breakfast, lunch. Even though Ryan cooks supper, I'm the breakfast and lunch girl. A video is playing. Something is going on, and my kids, are listening as well. So those things to me are all very mundane activities that everybody can do, but sometimes everybody chooses not to do because they are very boring and they're a slight edge. And if you guys have not ever read the book Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, it is the most amazing book in regards to just getting things done in your business. And it doesn't talk about necessarily, key attributes to grow your business. It talks about every day we choose to make slight edge choices. Choices that are going to be helpful to our success in our business, or choices that are going to eventually lead away from the success. Not necessarily maybe hurtful, but just lead us away. So maybe there's times where we choose to not post on Facebook because we just can't think of anything. Or maybe we choose to maybe not read those 10 pages of a good book or watch a video because things got crazy busy. Or maybe we choose to not follow up with that customer because we have this fear, inside of us that are like, gosh, the last time I talked to them, they were kind of a little bit iffy about how the products were going, so I'm just going to ignore it. We can choose to be helpful every day in our business to lead us to that level of success, that slight edge, small task that doesn't seem like it's going to make a difference, but it truly does in the end. And so I feel like even though I've been going at it for 3 years, I've been successful in regards to, bringing in $50,000 a year in this little part-time gig every year is not that bad of a deal. So even though I'm not yet, even though I just look at my success and my process of, again, that mastering the mundane with being around my kids. And since I first started, I only had 6 kids now, and now I have another one. So he will be 1 this month, and it's just exciting to know that if I keep at it and I keep doing that mundane thing, one day I will be diamond. So
It's funny that you said, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's so true that you say, like how, you, watch those inspirational things, like the Diamond documentaries or whatever, because I know, it seems like we just do so much with Plexus, and we think that we're building our belief every day and getting that personal development because we've, watched so many videos or done so many things. But, I even have caught myself, a few weeks ago even, and I was like, I need to watch a video. I need to watch some, inspirational things, we're all human. And so I did that, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome to build that belief again and again and again, and we can never watch enough videos. So if you think that you have watched a ton, there's never enough.
most of you guys know my mom, Lori Cooper, and she is a diamond ambassador at the top of our company, and she still like is watching videos all the time to help build her belief and her motivation, her inspiration, and stuff like that. And she's like always sending me stuff like, you got to watch this, you got to check this out. Oh my gosh, like so it just kind of proves that point. Like you always have, and she still does mundane things every day, and would it's a huge success and why she is where she is, and um, I, I don't know. I completely disagree with that statement that it's the little stuff that matters. It's the day in, day out task that you do that's going to get you. And sometimes it can get discouraging because you're like, oh my gosh, like I've been doing this for, a whole week now and I am not gold yet or I'm not silver yet or whatever it is. And we can, get a little frustrated, but you're never going to get there if you don't keep doing those things.
Yes, you got to keep at it. And I think one of the things that just around my busy schedule, this may or may not help other busy moms out there, but I tend to block off my schedule not by like from 8 to 9, I'm going to do this, 9 to 10, this happens. I do sequence and not time slots. So whenever I get to, say I get up and I do, prayer, affirmation, goals, post, follow up, and then like say number 6 step is, breakfast in there for the kids. Well, obviously we can all kind of veer off course and like, oh, I saw this and then this person messaged me, so then I messaged them back or whatever. And like today, breakfast was not until, like we were probably an hour behind schedule. And I thought, and granted we are on a summer schedule, so I'm a little bit more lenient when it comes to summer schedules versus my homeschool schedule. I'm like, more particular. But it was one of those things where one day I could follow up and contact people, in the 40s, per se. I mean, like, one day I will sit down and really, really do a whole bunch. And then the next day it may be that we're going on a field trip and we're at the pool or we're doing whatever, and so my activity is a lot less. But in the scope of that week, what did I do? Did I get all of this done? And granted, it's great to do every little thing every day, but we also have to realize and know and understand that we work for ourselves and we work from home. And what is that to tout to someone like, you would love this, you get to do your own schedule, you can do whatever, if we can't ourselves make that happen? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. One of the questions that someone else had asked me one time was, how do you schedule all of the stuff that needs to be done? And if you guys have not ever checked out FlyLady, FlyLady.com, I think, is just what it is. She is an amazing, coordinator, I guess you would say, for people who work from home. And it has nothing, obviously, to do with our business. It's just coordinating, like, when you clean and when you pay bills and, when is your office work and when is your meals and that kind of thing. And every day she says to get up and get dressed like you are going to leave to go work. Like you're going to do your makeup, do your hair, get dressed all the way down to your shoes, and you are going to act like you're going to walk out that door. And the amount of things that can happen for you is amazing. Her other big thing is keep your kitchen sink cleaned. And that sounds crazy, but it's so true. When your kitchen sink is cleaned and shining, you do not get distracted. And it's just the simple things like that I have learned, because I could clean all day. I mean, granted, I have 7 kids. You're going to find dirt in my home. Like, you come to my house right now, you're going to find some toys out. You're going to find there's laundry to be folded, I'm sure, in the dryer. It's not out anywhere right now. But I could literally clean all day, cook all day, do everything all day. And Mr. Husband has really taught me that you have to set boundaries for yourself. And that load of laundry is going to be there after the income-producing hours. So don't be hard on yourself if you see it sitting there. Take advantage of the hours that are going on right now. And he's really taught me a great lesson in that sometimes we have to put our blinders on and be laser focused for what all is taking place in the day. Because, like you said, with 7 kids and homeschooling, I can or could get easily distracted.
I know I like sometimes I will not get my husband gets home from work at 3. So sometimes sorry, so sometimes like I am guilty of like being in my pajamas until like 2:30, 2:45, and I'm like, kids, we gotta get dressed because daddy's gonna be home in like 30 minutes. But that is something that I've used as a distraction, and I will want to do like a video or a call or something like that, and I won't do it because I'm like, okay, like I'm still in my pajamas and my hair is like on top of my head thing. So like I can see how that would prevent you in other areas too.
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny because I never used, and I still, I mean, granted, there's times where something's going on and I've got myself like distracted. I mean, but most of the time, if you came to my house around 8:30 in the morning, I'm dressed and ready to go. Not always, you know, there's that caveat, but it's those mental things that you do in your head that gets you to know and understand that. Yes, I mean, there's many times where I still am in my comfy yoga pants, or you know, my dress that is so stretchy that it's like my maxi skirt that I'm like, yeah, it's super comfy. But I'm at least presentable because you want to make sure that if you do need to do a video or something, you're not looking like, I don't know, Cinderella who's been cleaning up the toilet.
I can second that for sure. Every time if I get ready, like I feel so much better and I get so much more done. I remember we had Sonia Dudley came to Columbus, Ohio for something, and she was like, "Don't spend time folding your underwear. Nobody folds their underwear. Just throw them in the drawer. Don't make your bed. You don't have time to make your bed. Like do something that makes money. Like don't fold your underwear." And she just kept saying that over and over and over again. And I was like, well, this lady knows what she's talking about. And ever since then, I don't fold my underwear. I just throw them in the drawer. Who needs it?
Pick your battles.
Right?
As moms, we get just distracted. I mean, how many times do we know that, you know, we could be doing this with the busyness of lives? And I'm not saying, you know, trash your house. I'm not by any means saying that. I do have my routines. You know, on the Fly Lady, it talks about, you know, I think in the morning, afternoon, and evening, you do hot spot cleanup for 15 minutes. You just set the timer for 15 minutes and go and clean and do whatever. And then when it's done and the timer's off, everybody's done. You're done, you know, done. But one thing that I wanted to add, because I don't want to take, you know, tons and tons of time, but at convention, you know, we all had our biggest takeaways, and we were all sitting there in the Ruby Above training. And I don't know if you guys took this away from that training, but this is what I took away. That just like our relationships with our kids, you know, we are so, so blessed to be with our kids. And, you know, there's a time for discipline, obviously, but I want their remembrance of our time together to be love. I want them to know, you know, that my mom loved me. When I wake up in the morning, every single one of my kids, even from the 14-year-old down, gets a good morning, did you sleep well, you know, hug, love you, affection of some kind. And the same when we go to bed. When I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. And when I am doing my business, I will say, Mommy's doing her business right now, just real quick. So that's key for me, is to make sure that our kids don't feel like Mommy's on her phone again, you know, or Mommy is doing this again, she has to do her Plexus stuff again. That's a great balance that we all strive to do, and I struggle with it. But there's certain boundaries that I set. But anyway, my takeaway from convention was doing things with love, and that kind of led me to my kids, but doing things with love. So we have built in us when we first get started in this business, like the little person in our brain goes off about, you don't want to say that on Facebook because somebody might say this, or you don't want to do that on Facebook, or you don't want to say that out in person. You don't want to wear that shirt that says you're a Plexus because people might think funny or do something or whatever. There's that fear moment that we all have. So in that training, they said, do not do things out of fear, but do things out of love. So we are programmed to know that automatically it's fear, but if you switch it and know that I'm going to talk to this person today out of love, I'm going to share the Plexus opportunity today out of love because I know what it feels like to have no money. You know, we raised 7 kids, and it's not a cheap thing. Even before Plexus came along, when we were just on one income, there's that feeling of, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay that bill? Or, oh my gosh, I need to get this and this and this, and school's starting, and now I've got to pay for all these books. So my biggest thing right now is reaching out to love for people. Everyone is, I mean, most people in America need $300 to $500 extra a month to survive. So if I go out and I, wreck my car and I have a bill of $300, that $300 that went for the bill to pay for the car could have went for something else. You know, if it's a medical bill or if it's a grocery bill or whatever. So the following month, guess what? I'm negative $300 unless I do something else. So those people that just have jobs and they get paid, $12 an hour, Monday through Friday, and that's it. There's no bonuses. There's no rank advancements. There's nobody on your team in that job field doing anything. They are negative in the hole going into that week. So my drive to do this opportunity and to share the opportunity is out of love. I don't want them to be negative in their bank account. I don't want them to be stressed. I don't want them to feel the fear of what am I going to do now. So I reach out to love for people. It may or may not be for you, but have you ever thought about working with this? And that was just one big thing that I really wanted to share with everybody that's listening is working your business out of love for the product. Who wants to be a crabby stay-at-home mom who has no energy, right? So reach out to other fellow stay-at-home moms and go, you're looking a little frazzled. Have you had any edge? Oh, you haven't? Let me tell you. I can get you some. But so anyway, reaching out with love is just a whole different attitude than taking that fear on.
I know that if nobody would have told me about Plexus, I seriously hate to think of what my life would be. And I know that there are so many other ambassadors that I have talked to that feel the same way. They're not. Actually, I don't talk to any ambassadors saying, oh, I wish I wouldn't have signed up. This is just awful. All of them are so thankful that they have these products. They have more energy. They're feeling better. Their health is better. They're getting that extra income. They're so thankful. So if you can think about yourself and how you feel because you have Plexus and all the other ambassadors and how they feel, I feel like that would kind of help take the fear away too. I want to comment on your timer thing. I have had to set timers to be on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to be on Facebook for 30 minutes or an hour and set my timer and know that's the only hour I'm going to be on it. So I'm going to get all of these IPAs done during that time because I don't know if you're like me, but I am super guilty of getting on Facebook to follow up or message or reach out, and then I'm scrolling for 30 minutes. So in the back of my mind, I'm oh, I got a timer. I can't scroll. So, because otherwise, something that could take you 15 minutes might take you 2 hours to do because you've scrolled. So.
Yeah, that's such.
I was doing
use that one.
Yeah. I was doing that this morning. I'm just sitting there scrolling. I had all of these other things I'm trying to do, and I'm literally in the middle of my kitchen scrolling. And I'm what are you doing? Put it down.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Timers are my friend. That's why whenever I talk about, hey, a team call is getting ready to come up, set a timer. It's no joke because it'll go off, and I'll look at the kids and I'll say, "What's the timer for?" Said mommy this, and that's another big thing that I know your all's family is little compared to mine, but get your kids involved right now. So anybody out there in the world of our team group here that has kids, above the age of 8, my 8-year-old, my 12-year-old, my 14-year-old are my rock star helpers around the house. My 7-year-old's getting there, but she's got a little distraction. She was the one that I posted about on Facebook the other day that shoved everything under the bed. She's not the greatest cleaner. But you have got to like really teach your kids every day to do some kind of self-help skill. So every lunchtime, you know, breakfast, everything. Somebody is the sweeper. Somebody cleans off the dishes. Somebody cleans, you know, and puts all the dirty dishes away. And as we do that, we free up time for ourselves. So you could then be the person standing in the middle of your kitchen scrolling on Facebook a little bit if you needed to, because your kids are able to carry on that and help clean up, you know, and do that sort of thing. And so I am really super big on skills of getting them to know and understand. And they will do that also if they know your goals, you know, and set your goals in correlation with their dreams and desires. So when I hit Emerald, my kids know what we get to do because they help me set that goal. When I hit Sapphire, you know, they have a goal. I think for Sapphire we're like gonna go see the redwood trees or something like fabulous. But for your rank advancements, when they know that you've got a call and you've got to go to the other room, they're going to join in because they're excited that when you hit that next rank, they get something too. So it's kind of like a motivator for them to be able to know that Mom's just not going in the other room for Plexus. Mom, we're at a meeting, let's go in the other room for Plexus.
That's funny because I know mine and Kara's kids are like a little younger, but like I do the same thing with Courtney, and she's only 3, and like I'll give her 2 quarters if she cleans her toys up, and like it doesn't seem like that's a whole lot, but when like toys are out like 50 times a day and she cleans them up just one time, you know, me giving her those quarters, like she just gets so excited for it. And of course make her put one in her piggy bank, and then she can spend one in her little horsey jar that she can put her money that she spends in. So she gets excited. So there's always ways you can find, even for little kids too, to get them excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nikki and I did another call earlier today, and Grace was my sidekick on it, and she's like sitting there right beside me the whole time. And so I was in the bathroom getting dressed earlier, and she's like, "Why are you getting dressed?" I'm like, "Nikki and I are doing Peak Power," and she's like, "Didn't you already do that once today?"
Love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are in this business to work our business from home, and so it would be really weird not to work with our kids.
Mhm.
Really, really odd. I mean, I just don't even know how they would fathom that very well. But and then it teaches them the entrepreneur skills, you know, and the my older kids, I'm already talking to them about, you know, not that you can't be a career. I'm not promoting that. But how can you make sure that you're taking advantage and you're not just trading time for money? You know, you want to work smart. So we already, you know, do teach skills about that kind of thing. And I am super big on personal development with them as well. It's one of those things where they hear the videos we listen to, and they hear how we take on the world, you know. And I don't mean, you know, Superwoman take on the world, but I'm just saying, you know, there's problems that'll go on in our home, in our family, and I'll say, well, you know, what have we learned so far about how to act with that? How should we do that? How should we problem solve that? And I think that's key whenever we're working the business as well, is because we know that as leaders, building our business and building our belief, we have to make sure that we are teaching kids leadership skills and knowing and understanding that in order to get to the next level in the company and in order to grow to the next level, your personal development is going to be based upon that. So that's huge for me as well. I think that we just have to really know and understand our goals and our affirmations and where we need to go. And that's why I said it's really humbling for me, because I've been at this level now for 3 years, and I think, okay, I'm ready for the next, you know, strategic, like, give it to me kind of thing, because I'm ready to get there, whatever is needed.
You know what? I say the same thing. Well, I'm Ruby, and I've been in the business. It'll be 3 years in November, but like I've been like completely happy with where I am, because like I was at least able to replace my income and not have to go back to work and be able to stay home with my kids. So like I feel like you need to give yourself a little bit more credit, because like you're doing amazing. You really are.
Oh, thanks, Dick.
It is fun to just realize everything that we've accomplished, even as Ruby or senior Ruby ambassadors. We're not, whenever they released the 100 diamonds video the other day, like that was just to know that there's like only 100 of them, because I feel like that's always who we're comparing ourselves to, is the jewels and the people that went at a super fast pace and they're in the spotlight and we want to be like them. But honestly, it's like the majority of people, it takes a little bit more time to get there. And I know for me, my personal journey, like I just had a lot. I had a lot to learn. Like I had no idea like what I was getting into, how I got to where I was, and I had to figure it out before I could really move forward any. But it was just, I don't know. To me, I was excited to see that there was only 100 diamonds, because there's only 100 at the top and like 300,000 not.
That's such a poignant thing that I recently, this is another master the mundane thing, is having a workout partner. I was recently talking to my workout partner, and I said to her, my fear is that I am not moving at a speed that is successful. I feel like I'm not going as fast as I want, because I do see these people who are just flying past me, and I am appreciative of my story, but my fear was, like, am I not going to get there, kind of thing. And that is our society talking to us. We are going to be successful. Our affirmations have to show that to us. And I think the thing is, look at the amount of people, like you said, Kara, that are in this business and who have, like, there's just 100. Like you said, like, oh my goodness, look at the amount of potential that is in the United States. And I was talking to an ambassador today, and she said, it's kind of frustrating because I'm in a super small town, and we can sometimes only see what's around us. And I said, I completely understand. I'm from a super small town, too. Our brains sometimes cannot fathom the amount of greatness that we are built for, and it cannot fathom the amount of people that are not yet in our business, that are just waiting. Like, if we continue to post on Facebook and get the word out that I am a Plexus lady, and if you need Plexus, it's right here, it's just a matter of time. It really is. If you keep doing that mundane thing over and over and over, it's just a matter of time. And Paul J. Meyer, if you guys don't know who Paul J. Meyer is, he was a Texas tycoon billionaire who did personal development and business. He was a huge entrepreneur. And my favorite quote from him, and I'm probably going to butcher it because I don't have it written down, but you could just look it up on Google. It's like, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, and will inevitably come to pass. Inevitably. It's like a scientific statement, scientific proof. So whatever you imagine working on every day, those affirmations, whatever you vividly and ardently desire, that claims that is mine, that's yours, and you work for it, it's going to happen.
I have a cousin that does hair, and he is building this incredible career and has opened his own shop, and he actually recently got offered a job in Beverly Hills to work with a celebrity stylist, and like those are his goals and stuff like that. And he was sharing, like, that was his secret, like the law of attraction. Like, he imagined it, he made a dream board, and he's like, it's so crazy because he goes, I made this 9 months ago, and like all of this stuff has happened. And I don't know, just to add some validation to that quote, like my cousin's like kind of proof of that.
I mean, the thing of it is that most of us don't do is we imagine it, but then we don't do the activity. We don't work for it.
Right.
I mean, everybody that I talk to, I'm like, I will be diamond. I don't know when, but I'm diamond. I mean, unless I stop, why would I not be diamond? Why would I not get there? I am every day reaching out to people, and I'm every day saying, like, you can do this with me, or you can just wait and watch me, but every day it's going to happen. I just have to find the right people. And Ryan, I am not, he made fun of me probably about like 6 months ago because I did not know who Adele was. And I'm like, Ryan, I don't have time. What are you talking about? And he's like, it's just like she's a really popular singer, Leisha. I don't know. He's like, kind of like, I don't know who Prince is. You're embarrassing me. Well, I don't know. I don't know who Adele is, but anyway. So he was laughing at it, joking, and so he just now was playing this song, and it's the fight song. I don't know who the singer is, but he said that um, she sang every day, like for 12 years to an audience of 30 people, but knew that she was going to be a rock star one day. She was like, it's just a matter of time for 12 years. You know, so would you stick and stay for 12 years?
I will.
Oh, I mean, some people are like, I don't think that I can handle it that long. But if you knew, you know, it's that little cartoon that I know your mom found it at one point where he was like chipping away to get to the diamonds and he gave up like super, super close. It's the same way in like the movie The Secret, where people like work and work and work and they're like so close and it's right there and then they stop and say, this stuff doesn't work.
Right.
You know and believe that it will work. You have to know and believe and trust in the process. And trust in the process is probably one of the biggest faults we all have. And when we're down about it, you know, because I'm not saying that we're all perfect, that's when you call your workout partner and you say, I just need you to validate things for me. And that workout partner lifts you up, takes you out of the mud, you know, wipes you down, puts the Band-Aids on the beat, you know, pass, and gets you going again.
Mhm. I mean, if you think about it, if you are working, even if it does take you 12 years, which I really don't think it will most people with our compensation plan, but if you think about it, like in 12 years, I won't even be 40 yet, so I will be like 38, me personally. So in 12 years, I could be 100% financially and time free, like debt free, be making more in a month than most people make in a year type thing. Like that's worth it. A six-figure income, like to live the whole rest of my life on.
That it would
So,
be, right?
you know. But it's been about 40 minutes, and we probably need to wrap this up. And thank you so much for jumping on here and sharing your heart and your story with us. And I know I have a page of notes here, some different things that I'm just going to kind of implement in my business. So
I do too. I do too. I don't always take notes, but you had some good stuff to share for sure. Flylady.com is coming at you when I get off here.
yeah, I've got that written down. Thank you so much, Leisha.
Just one quick tip on the flylady.com. I have like spreadsheets of her zone cleaning, so if you need them, I will forward them to you.
Oh my God, yes.
That'd be great.
We'll share them with we'll share them with everybody.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you, Leisha. Okay, we'll let you go, but thank you so much for coming on the call and sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome.